Good evening. Good evening. Can you hear me? As there are no more students yet, we'll wait for another 2 minutes until 7:05. Okay, after that we'll start. So then if you do not talk, actually, whoever the lecturer will be doing whatever she wants to do. Okay, that means the students' responses are also a matter in deciding how to conduct a lecture. So you have to think of it. So I thought of doing the last topic today and touching past paper questions. So that depends on your interest actually. Okay, that's what is in my mind. We'll see. First, we'll complete the lesson, and if we have time, and if you are interested, we'll go to past paper questions. Okay, so this is the topic that we are going to complete today. It's true, one day we could not conduct lectures. That is when it was actually. That was on 20th. So today is 31st. I don't know whether we will be meeting again for the same subject once again. I think no. So whatever we have to complete, we have to complete within today. Okay, today the topic is materials development and resources. Okay, when it comes to English language teaching or else second language teaching, this is also an important sector, important part, material development and resources. Just think, what do you mean by material development? Okay, just to get an idea. Before that, these are the areas that we are going to discuss under this topic. That is selecting and adapting authentic materials, developing and using supplementary materials, utilizing technology in the ESL, English as a Second Language, classroom, finding and evaluating online resources for ESL teaching. So these are the subtopics which we are going to discuss under this topic. Materials, development and resources. Okay, just think about it until other students join.
Excuse me, madam.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, madam, could you show the earlier one? Just I want to have a screenshot, please. Two
Sure.
seconds.
Okay, no issue. Okay. Okay. Now we'll start. Okay, just get an idea about material development and resources. Before you go to the depth of a lesson, you should understand what it is. Okay, use this time to understand what material development is and what resources are. Once you finish reading, let me know. Okay, here the idea is when teachers are teaching, teachers should use certain tools and content, various tools and content that is to facilitate, that is to help effective learning. So all the teachers can teach, there is no doubt. But problem is under all these teachers, whether the students are learning effectively. So that is the case. Teaching is at one end, learning is at another end. So as a result of teaching, students should learn effectively. But that does not happen always with all regarding all the teachers. But if as a teacher, if you want to create effective learning, what you need to do is actually you have to use various tools and content. So you can't use whatever the tools and content you want. So there is a procedure. That means it's a process actually. You have to create, you have to select, you have to adapt and utilize these rules, tools and content. Okay, so when teachers are teaching, you have this experience when you were learning as students. You may remember how your teachers used different tools and content to help learning. And if you are a teacher, you may be using them. So then don't consider these resources or tools seriously. So here for an example, the tools and content means everything that teachers and students use inside the classroom. And teachers are using them to achieve learning objectives. Okay, so these resources, they can be actually tangible things like textbooks, worksheets. Okay, so textbooks, they are resources. Worksheets, if teacher is using, they are resources. And they are tangible one. We can see, we can touch. At the same time, there are digital stuff, just like online videos, interactive exercises. So they are not tangible, they are digital, virtual. At the same time, these teaching resources, they can be real world objects. We call them realia. So like map or plant. Okay, there are three types of resources teachers can use. One is tangible things like textbooks and worksheets. Second one is digital stuff, just like online videos. Third one is real world objects. Okay, there are three stuff here. Yeah, let me underline it. Oh, sorry. Here. One is, this is for your easy understanding tangible stuff, digital stuff, and real world objects. And these three types of resources are used by teachers. Hope it is understood by you. So we'll go to the next part. So when we are using resources, here you can see selecting, creating, adapting, they are important. So we'll go to now selecting procedure. Just see. Okay, did you finish reading? Okay, the topic number one is selecting and adapting authentic material. Okay, that's very, very important. Rather than using fake materials or else artificial material, if a teacher can use authentic materials, it's very, very effective. So, authentic materials means the stuff, real world text, which are not specifically designed for language learners. So they are not for language learners, but clever teachers can use them with an adaptation for teaching process. Okay, they are originally not meant for teaching, but clever teachers can adapt them to be suitable for teaching. And here one example is there, not one examples, many examples are there. News articles. So they are available in newspapers, but they are not there for teaching. But teachers, When they want to teach English language, they can make use of news article. The song lyrics, they are there, but song is a different genre. But if a teacher needs, even we also use, we use songs, lyrics for teaching English. Movie clips, recipes, brochures, menus, social media posts, podcast, interviews. So all these things can be used to teach English. So they are example for authentic materials. We call them authentic because they were not originally made to teach English. Tell me whether this is clear to you.
Yes, madam.
Are you okay? If you have even a minor doubt, you have to tell me. Huh? Okay, be comfortable to ask questions. Hari,
Okay.
okay? So selecting. So when you are selecting authentic material, there are certain things you have to consider. Okay, read what they are. Okay, hope you read it. So, when you are selecting authentic material, because authentic materials are always better. Actually, not only authentic material, any material when you are going to select for teaching, you have to consider these things. What are they? You have to consider students' level. So, whether my students are primary kids, secondary students or adult students or something like that, their knowledge level especially you have to consider, and their interest, because interest of different age group, that differs. Interest always differs. So what primary kids are interested is not what adult students are interested in. And also you have to consider the objectives. So what are the things you need to consider? Students' level, interest, and learning objectives. Okay, so then there may be very nice resources that you can use. Just because the resource is nice, you can't use it always. Before using, you have to consider the student's level, interest, and learning objectives. So just imagine there is a nice newspaper article. We'll say academic article, very complex, but it's nice actually. But do you think that academic article, which is complex, suits beginners? No, the beginners will be confused. They will not be able to understand that particular complex academic article. So, for them, actually, as a teacher, you can select a simple travel brochure. So that is not the complex. It's a travel brochure, and that is very simple. That will be perfect, authentic resource for beginners. And catchy song, very beautiful, tuneful song should be very good for practicing pronunciation. Okay, so we know nursery rhymes. So they are used with small kids to make their pronunciation better. But at the same time, with advanced learners, you can't use that catchy song. It's useless. Because they are advanced learners, you can use a news clip which could spark a discussion. So you can use a news clip which can pave the way for a very deep discussion. That news clip may be about a current event. Okay, that type of selection is good for advanced learners. So what I am telling is not something very difficult to understand, but consider them. Okay, that is selecting. And next one, adapting. Okay, read that also.
Excuse me, madam.
What?
Yeah, okay, because I didn't get I have a signal problem. Could you revise the line you told me as a last? So difficult to understand something you told me that line was not clear.
Which
You
one? Which
take
line?
5 seconds. Now you told me that it's difficult for us to understand that part. So that voice is not clear for me. So please explain me within
I
10 seconds.
can't
I will catch.
remember. Okay, but I can't remember what I expressed. But you can listen to the recording. Ne? You are not giving recordings
Yeah, recording is there, madam. But you told me
because
that
because
while.
I frankly telling, genuinely talking, I can't remember what I told last. Because
It's okay, right? Okay.
I hope you can understand. Other
Yeah,
than
okay.
what
That
is
will be okay.
available in the slide, I talk a lot of things, but actually
Yeah,
I
okay. I
can't
understand. I
remember.
understand.
Are
It's
okay,
okay, madam.
okay. Are you okay? Okay, just read this adapting. Okay, let me explain. Adapting. You know the meaning of adapt. That means the stuff we have to change if necessary, and we have to make it short. So then, as a whole, we have to adapt. Adaptation simply means that we are not using the stuff as it is. So with certain changes, we use it. But it doesn't mean that we are changing the stuff entirely. No. So we are making changes to the resource. That is, we are doing so because students can access it more properly, more easily when we adapt it. Okay, so here there are certain techniques of adaptation, simplifying vocabulary. Simplifying vocabulary. So maybe in the article or the paragraph you took, there are very complex words. And you understand these complex words are very tough for my students. So as a teacher, what you can do is actually you can simplify it. So here one word is there, ubiquitous. So that is a very tough word. Instead of that, you can use common. So the students will understand then better. And another one is shortening the text. So you may be having a very lengthy text, and that may be too lengthy for students. So you can make it short. So as a teacher, you may not be time at least you can select some parts of it. So you can take a particular specific section and adding visuals. So teachers should use images, diagrams, charts. Okay, then students will understand easily even a complex information. Okay, so visuals. Teachers should use visuals. Okay, here. Okay, we'll understand. So when you are teaching based on the article, we'll take an article as an example, the resource, based on the resource. You can create questions that may focus on different levels of understanding. So according to the level of your students, you can develop different types of questions, literal questions, inferential questions, evaluative questions. The literal questions can be answered on the surface level. Inferential questions, to answer inferential questions, the student should dive inside the stuff. So that is not, answers are not on the surface level. Evaluative questions means the student should give a judgment actually. According to the question, they have to give a judgment whether it is correct or wrong. Okay, they are adaptation because teacher is creating questions at different level. And of course, the teacher can modify the task. Maybe the article you took mentioned at the end that students need to summarize it, summarizing the news article. So, but as the teacher, you can modify that question. Instead of asking students to summarize the article, you can ask them to identify the main idea. Or else you can ask your students to discuss their opinion on the related issue. Okay, so most of the teachers, what they do, they stick into the stuff. No, we can use the stuff, but we can go for modifications. And the next one is breaking down the text. That means, as the teacher, you can break down a lengthy text into smaller chunks. And you, after dividing it into small chunks, you can work on each chunk separately. It doesn't mean that you have to complete the whole stuff at once. No, you can go section wise and your student will understand better. Here, see the examples. Okay, this is a very simple example. Even without my explanation, I suppose you can understand it. So just imagine this resource or the text you teacher found as a resource is about how to make chocolate chip cookies. Okay, this is a Western example. Okay, so here the original text is like this: cream together the butter and sugar until light and fluffy. In a separate bowl, whisk together the dry ingredients. So that language may be very tough for lower level learners. So teacher can uh, change the language. Teacher can adapt it. See how it looks after adaptation. Mix the butter and sugar. It's very clear. The children will understand. Make sure it's light and fluffy. In another bowl, mix the flour, baking soda, and salt. So here the vocabulary is simplified and sentences are short. If necessary, the teacher could add pictures also. Okay, so then if teacher can add pictures, that will be ideal. Okay, next one. Okay, the first one we discuss is selecting and adapting authentic materials. Second one is developing and using supplementary materials. Just read and understand. Okay. Developing and using supplementary materials. So you should have an idea about what supplementary materials are. Okay, it's normally supplementary materials are teacher created. Teacher can create them or commercially available. That means teacher can create them or else teacher can buy them. Commercially available resources, and they support the use of authentic materials. See the example worksheets, handouts, flashcards, games, puzzles, graphic organizers, role play cards. So they are supplementary materials. So if there are primary teachers in this lecture, you can easily understand what I am talking. And when you are using supplementary material, it's a process actually, developing. Okay, developing. So then when you are developing supplementary materials, actually, you have to focus on how to give clear instructions regarding them, how to engage activities, and whether using this supplementary material, how can engage students in activities, whether this supplementary material is relevant to the content. And then, of course, when you are selecting supplementary material, you have to think about learning objectives and learning styles of students. For an example, so here, worksheets, handouts, flashcard. So then, if a teacher is always using handouts, that may be boring for students. So there may be students who likes activities. Activities means real participation. So for them, the games and even role playing will be okay. So teachers, they have to think students' learning styles. And supplementary materials can be used for different purposes actually. So one is practice. Okay, so worksheets, you may know, they can be used by students to practice grammar, vocabulary, or specific skills. So then reinforcement. So games actually, games and activities, they can help learning in a fun and engaging way. Reinforce means scaffolding, supporting. So then these are another two purposes of using supplementary materials. Okay, assessment. Okay, so then supplementary materials like quizzes and text, they can measure students' understanding. And then differentiation. Okay, so the teachers can use uh, or generate different versions of same worksheet or activities. And that is to cater different students with different learning level. Okay, so the same activity can be used for primary kids, secondary students, and adults. So that is with different versions. Okay, clever teachers can do it very nicely. See the example. Okay, see here the examples. Using a particular newspaper article, and we'll assume the article is about climatic change. As the teacher, you can develop different worksheets, and you can develop one worksheet that is regarding vocabulary, some matching vocabulary. So then you can take key terms from the article, and then you can shuffle the definitions of those key terms, and you can ask students to match it. And then you can have another worksheet with comprehensive questions. That means comprehension means understanding. In singular, we call our bodhya. So you can have another worksheet that is to check students' understanding about the article, actual understanding of the article. And then another worksheet can be there that is to prompt discussion, actually, and that means to encourage students for discussions. That means to come out with their opinions. Okay, so based on the same supportive document, the teachers can have different uh, level of worksheets. Okay, third one is utilizing technology in the ESL classroom. Okay, utilizing technology in the ESL classroom. So maybe in the past, uh, when teachers are teaching English language, they might not have used many technology. I mean, they might not have used many stuff related to technology. But now we are living in 21st century, and technologically the world has advanced a lot. So definitely English teachers also should utilize technology in the classroom. And technology, it offers uh, huge resources and tools for English language teachers. See example. So interactive whiteboards are there, online dictionaries, language learning apps. Here there are some, you may know more than that. So these days there are many advertisements on this language speaking apps, a video conferencing platform like Zoom, Google Meet. So then online quizzes are there, digital storytelling tools are there. So teachers should use modern technology to teach English. And we can't tell exactly what technology. So teacher can use any technology according to his or her convenience. Next. Okay. Technology can be utilized, can be used for presenting content. So then here actually we are talking about interactive whiteboards. So we in Sri Lankan context, school classrooms may not be, I mean the whiteboards may not be there. So at least teachers can use their smartphone to present content. Okay, so it should not be always an interactive whiteboard, but other things can be used. Then providing practice. So online exercises are there, online games are there. So the students can be given those opportunities. But we are talking these things, but at the same time we should have a real understanding about the current condition, the condition of Sri Lanka actually. What we are discussing may be really practical in Western world, but when it comes to countries like Sri Lanka, we are having
Excuse me,
lots of,
madam.
yeah,
From the time I know, we have learned Sri Lanka is a developing country, madam.
sorry.
From the time I know, we have been taught Sri Lanka is a developing country.
Yes, we are using even our grandparents when they was learning, they said Sri Lanka is a developing country. Even our parents, they use the same. We also use, now we have taught our children also, Sri Lanka is a developing country. That's what you are telling, I understand. We are a developing country forever. I don't know, but according to the present condition of the world, so again, problems for all the countries. In Sri Lanka, actually, we had a great expectation about tourism. But because of this ongoing war, the tourism industry is also halt actually.
Collapse.
That's the thing. And I don't know. So we are living actually, but still there are lots of changes. I read some articles, and those articles say the nature is now out of the control of human being, because just imagine the heat, the temperature, it's unbearable actually. So we can't go outside during daytime. We go actually, but see, it was not like this in the past, the previous year, the recent years. It was not like that. So we feel the heat. I don't know, Hari. Okay, next. And using technology, the teachers can involve students in collaborative projects and discussions. Okay, example. See these examples using a video clip from a movie. So if you are having an interactive whiteboard, you can show the movie in on it. And so while showing it, you can pause the video to discuss with students the vocabulary, pronunciation, or cultural context. Okay, if you are having those facilities, of course, we can use them. So the online quizzes are there, so teachers can use them to understand to measure their understanding, and teacher can introduce recommend language learning apps. So once again, I have to tell, most of the Sri Lankan schools, they do not have even internet facilities. Okay, so what about these things, smart board, interactive whiteboard? So they don't have even internet facilities. Okay, next one, finding and evaluating online resources for ESL teaching. Okay, finding and evaluating online resources. So we can use online resources, but we need to find them, and we need to evaluate them. So that is very important. So finding is important because there is an uncountable number of online resources. So we have to find the correct one. At the same time, we have to evaluate the selected one, that is to check the quality and the relevance. So then to find them, we can use search engines, educational websites, a teacher forum, just like that. To evaluate, evaluating. So when you are evaluating the online resources, you have to think about the accuracy. So then that means whether the information uh, online, is it correct? Is it accurate? And then there are many information available online, but all are not correct. So relevance. So the material you selected, you have to check whether it is relevant to your students' needs and learning objectives. And appropriateness. So then there may be very good material, but you have to check whether it is appropriate for the age level, cultural background of your students. So what is appropriate to Western world may not be appropriate to Eastern world. And usability. And there may be very good material, but if we can't use them practically inside the classroom, it's useless. And authority. And the particular resource, is it credible and reputable? So whether it has been used by many teachers, just like that. And there is a section called corpus study. So there we can get more information about what we are teaching. See the example.
What's madam? Credible and what is the next word?
Sorry?
Credible and
Credible and reputable. Reputation.
reputable. Yes.
Reputable.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it a famous one? And see the example here. So when you are selecting online grammar exercise, so you can check the website and whether it is affiliated. That means if it is whether it is connected with a reputable institution or organization, and whether it consists of clear
Madam,
explanations. Sorry.
Excuse me. The earlier one,
Yeah.
last, just 2 seconds. You
Yeah.
just
Okay.
go
Yes.
upper one, 2 seconds. The earlier one, the before.
You want to see the earlier slide?
Earlier last one word I want to see.
Harry. Okay.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Harry. Harry. Okay, so then now we were talking in detail about how to select online resources and supportive material, and then how to not only online, other resources also, and how to select them, how to adapt them. So then how to utilize them with technology, and we were talking about all these things. So if a teacher is using resources according to how we discuss, of course, that teacher can give a very effective learning experience to her or his children. So when you are selecting material as a teacher, you have to always consider your students' needs and learning objectives. Otherwise, a teacher should never select material according to their interest and teaching objectives. And that's the question. Hari, okay. So that is the last lesson. Then I promise you to discuss a past paper. Yes, we have time. Yeah. We want to save time. Directly I go to it. Hari, okay, this is a past paper question actually. Where is that? Oh my God. It was not shared, Hari. Okay, imagine this is a question paper. This is a past paper question actually. See the first question. Normally you will be having questions with sub questions here. So then altogether you can get four questions, 25 marks. Sometimes it may be with two sub questions also. See, so we have discussed these things, check whether you can remember them. You may not remember everything at once. Okay, see the questions. Describe the core principles of behaviorism and explain how the audiolingual method applies these principles in second language acquisition. I think if you go through the note once again, you can understand it. So, you know what behaviorism, we have discussed it in detail. And then we have discussed with behaviorism, audiolingual method is applied. And the second sub-question is critically evaluate the strength and weaknesses of audiolingual method in promoting effective language learning. And the third one is discuss how cognitivism differs from behaviorism in its approach to understand the learning process. So that is from the very first lesson we did. Okay, we'll go to another question. This is a past paper question. Sometimes the content of the syllabus may be different. So I did not check it. I am just showing it. Hi. But this question, I think you can remember. Here you can see. I hope you are reading. And while reading, just imagine how you can answer. Okay, so you have to discuss actually. Discuss the role of motivation in second language acquisition. Differentiating, so you have to discuss it, differentiating between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. And you have to provide examples of how each type influence language learning. Just tell me how you are going to answer that question. So this is regarding factors which affect language learning, our second topic. So what is motivation? So when you get a question like this, first you have to show you know what motivation is. Basically, motivation means motivation is a reason for acting. Okay, so you can have your own definitions. I have told something in the lecture, but you can have your own definition about motivation. So because of motivation only, human beings engage in different behaviors. And then you have to tell motivation is two types. One is intrinsic motivation, other one is extrinsic motivation. So then you have to tell what intrinsic motivation. So when a learner is motivated due to internal factors, we call it intrinsic motivation. So learner
Actually, the
is
interest,
motivated because of
actually,
internal factors. And then you
actually
can
the
mention some internal factors. What are they?
interest, enjoyment, and genuine
So
desire for oneself. So these things are included in
exactly,
instinctive
correct,
motivation.
correct. Yes, the desire exactly.
Reward,
Willingness.
grades, giving grades or
Willingness.
rewards.
Willingness. Yeah, you know, the reasons actually, what is coming under intrinsic motivation, the desire. Exactly, that we can start with desire, willingness, just like that. And you can provide examples also. And there may be students who likes
Enjoying
classical
their
way.
self.
Sorry?
Enjoying their self. What they like, the doesn't like.
Yes, correct, correct. I understand you can remember the lessons, yes. And then you can explain what? Extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation occurs or extrinsically students are motivated due to external factors. So what are those external factors?
Giving rewards or grades.
Yeah, to give rewards, to obtain high grades,
And
And
appreciate the when
yeah,
appreciate
appreciations,
appreciation, praising.
promotions, correct.
appreciation,
Mm.
Yeah, so
appreciation, promotion.
promotions, exactly. So that is extrinsic motivation. So then simply you can say how both type influence language learning. If a student is intrinsically motivated towards language learning, the particular learner can easily learn a language because learner is learning it out of his own desire. But if a student is not motivated internally, the teachers even can use intrinsic, not extrinsic factors to motivate the student. Teacher can say, I will give presents for those who are getting high marks or something like that. So these are very practical questions. The only thing you need to have the basic knowledge. Right. Then explain how socio-cultural factors such as question also denotes, tell what those are. Socio-cultural factors like exposure, interaction, cultural background affect the
Acquisition.
process of second language learning. Very easy question.
Acquisition also.
Sorry?
Acquisition.
Oh, yes. Yes. How can you explain it?
The ample opportunities are given for them to improve their social cultural factors. So providing ample
Yes.
opportunities in order to improve interaction,
Yes, for providing ample opportunities.
and also the immersive and the good environment in order to adapt to the learner.
Yes.
Cultural background is also influence for that, madam.
Sorry?
Cultural
Uh,
background.
Yes. Correct. But yes, as here the socio-cultural factors, you have
And
to simply explain. Yeah, and how it
social
affects
network
second language
learners.
acquisition. So if a student is having an exposure to second language, and of course it is to English, that is an added advantage. So the student will be using second language very naturally because of exposure. And exposure to second language is an important factor. So you can say, unluckily, most of the students, they are not having exposure to second language. But if a student is having it, that is an added qualification, added uh, chance actually. Okay, then the same way you can talk about interactions. So rather than theoretically learning second language, if students can interact with each other using that, that is really nice. So that is why new teaching methods like interactive teaching and those things are there. Rather than individually learning a language, the student should interact with other learners. And then again, you can talk about cultural background, how it affects second language learning. So all these factors affect positively. Okay. Another one is, the third one is analyze the impact of affective factors, including, and the question says if you forgot, because from the question itself you can recognize them. So what is coming as affective factors? Anxiety, self-esteem, and discuss
Anxiety.
strategies teachers can use to create positive affective environment in class. We have discussed that. Think about it.
Self-esteem. Anxiety. Inhibition.
Yes,
Inhibition.
inhibition. Yeah.
Empathy, caring feelings of others, all these things are included. Empathy, or ability to understand,
Teacher
and
should,
attitude.
teacher should build the supportive classroom.
Yes, very good. Teacher should build a supportive classroom, of course.
And
Caring
every
the
time
feelings
they
of
should
others,
give feedback through the
caring the feelings
feedback.
of others.
Yes,
The attitude of the learners should be regarded, and the attitude of the learners should be considered significantly, and
yes,
that impact their motivation. So it is very much important, that attitude of the learner.
yes, yes,
So we should keep an eye on the attitude of the learner, then thereby, according to his interest and the anxiety, is the duty of the teacher to guide the students.
yes. What you told, all are correct actually. So then these affective factors, they always stands negatively. So if a student is having affective factors, teacher should know it, and teacher should take some remedies to avoid them. So here affective, this is based on Krashen's theory actually. Second language acquisition. Affective filter is their one hypothesis. So anxiety, when the student is too much excited and anxious, it will stand as a barrier for language learning. And self-esteem, that is also another factor which stand as a barrier. So the teachers can create, as one of you told, very supportive environment. The teacher should be very friendly. So then students can have the ability to approach teacher, approachable, and very pleasant environment. Okay, so the teacher can have it, create it. So creating all these things, the teacher can uh, remove these, or teacher can erase these uh, affective factors. And at the same time, there are positive affective factors also. Huh? So we were talking about anxiety, self-esteem, second language. Yeah, they are as negative. So at the same time, there are positive uh, affective factors also.
How can we consider the positive?
Oh, what
Uh,
are the positive factors actually? Yes, what are positive factors?
associating with the people, and also
Yes.
associating with the people, and also the cultural background, according the cultural background, by associating the people in a multiracial cultural background, then thereby it becomes as a positive factor. And also
Yes.
social network, by using the social network and internet facilities also, then thereby the language skill is improved.
Yes, correct. So then we can take, as the question says, anxiety is a negative factor, but motivation, that is a
Motivation,
positive, yes,
yeah,
affective
that's right.
factor.
Motivation,
Yes, correct. And then
self interest.
inhibition, we discussed it. The inhibition means that's a psychological disorder, psychological barrier. So some students they have the wrong assumption that English language is very tough. I cannot learn it. So they are inhibitions, negative. And then actually self-esteem, that is positive. So that means if a student is having self-esteem, he is very confident.
And also, madam, by giving the opportunities for the students who have the inhibition, so then thereby getting onto the stage, so
Yeah,
involving
correct,
role
correct,
play,
correct. Yes.
dialogues, and all these things are there. Then
Yes, teachers can just chase
opportunities.
away their stage fear. You are correct. And that teacher should create an environment where other students are not laughing at the mistakes the particular student does.
And it
Hari,
is said
okay.
that the good learner should laugh of the sentence. The good learner should laugh at the wrong sentence he expressed. So the qualities for the learners. So one of the qualities for the learners is to say that the learner should laugh at the expression of his by understanding later on when he comes that it's wrong.
Yes. You mean laughing, is it good or something like that?
Laughing the mistakes of oneself. He himself should laugh at the mistake after understanding. So by doing like that, psychologically he chases away the stage
Because
frighten
it's
of him.
okay. Rishi.
No, I can't understand. It's not clear. Yes.
Now by laughing the mistakes he does,
Uh,
so he himself chases away the stage frighten.
you mean laughing is not a problem? Is that so?
No, laughing is a problem for oneself. Now the learner should laugh at the mistakes he does
Ah, yes, not others.
after, yeah, not others, after
Ah,
understanding
okay,
the
that's
mistakes.
correct. That's correct.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
having understood the mistakes he has done, then later, having understood the mistake he has done, then later
Yeah,
he
yeah, correct.
himself
That is correct.
laughs
If
at
a
the
learner
mistakes.
can laugh at his own mistakes, that also shows his confidence. But if a learner collapses when other students are laughing, that's not nice. Harry, okay, we'll go to the next questions. And here, I think we did communicative language teaching also. Describe the key features of communicative language teaching.
In the communicative language, it's a duty of the learners to get practice and involve with the other people. So then thereby by communicating and by, by speaking and conversing with the people, then he himself, the learner himself, can understand the mistakes, and by passing of time, the
Yes.
learner can be able to acquire a vast and a sound knowledge for himself, and he opened the mouth by using the four basic skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So then thereby it is easy for him to improve his communicative skills only by speaking and communicating. And communicating is a special skill. Why? Because the listening, the writing, we think, we the learner actually thinks of the sentence, and later, step by step, he tries his best to comprehend the vocabulary and the power of words and the accuracy, the punctuation, and everything. By communicating skills is actually totally different from the writing skill. Why? Because by speaking, and he himself thought of the vocabulary, so he should have the vast area and the lack of vast
Yes.
power of vocabulary.
Yes.
So these things are there.
Yes.
So this is totally
Describe the
different.
key features of communicative language teaching. So first you have to tell what communicative language teaching. So the method communicative language teaching considers interaction and communication as the primary goal of language learning. So we are learning a language, second language, that is for interaction and communication. Okay, so then you have to mention some key features of interact communicative language teaching. So then under communicative language teaching, the students are getting authentic communication. So they try to communicate naturally. And then under communicative language learning, the focus is on communication. That means focus is on fluency than the accuracy. Okay, the accuracy is focused more in other methods like grammar translation method, but CLT, communicative language teaching, focuses more on what is that? Fluency. And under
The
communicative
priority, yeah, madam, the
sorry,
priority should be given to the fluency, right?
priority should be given to
the fluency of the language
fluency,
track of
correct.
in the
Yes,
track of
correct.
communicative language.
Yeah, then the accuracy rather than focusing more on grammar, the focus is on communication. And then under communicative language teaching, learner will be very active and independent. We were talking about autonomous learners. Okay, so they are under communicative language teaching. Almost all the learners will be very independent, autonomous. Because under communicative language teaching, learners, they have to work together to understand something. And as a result of it, their communication abilities, competency will be very high. And then under communicative language teaching, the activities are uncountable because teachers can use variety of activities under communicative language teaching. The second question is, discuss the role of fluency and accuracy in communicative language teaching. So there you can see under communicative language teaching, fluency is focused more than the accuracy. Okay, we don't have much time. Then we'll go to the third part. Then analyze the roles of the teacher in communicative language classroom. So what is the role of the teacher?
The opportunity should be given to the students, and then the students should be given the
There should be a
opportunities.
student-centered environment, and
The teacher can be the guide.
Very good. The teacher can be the guide, facilitator. Yeah.
All right. And the model role play.
Yes. Teacher can provide feedback when and where it's necessary.
Mentor.
teacher should help when necessary and always guide the student when doing the work and always motivate the
Exactly,
student.
yes. Teacher should be behind the student, guiding them when necessary. Exactly what you told is correct.
In the
And
midst
then,
of the conversation, teacher mustn't disturb the students.
yeah. Teacher talking time should be minimum actually. Teacher
And
should
also,
not disturb.
while the students are speaking, the teacher mustn't interfere
Yeah,
in their
correct.
conversation. And later on,
Yeah,
they should go for the discussion.
yes. Teacher should not disturb the student. Yeah, correct. And we'll go to the fourth question. Yeah, discuss the key elements involved in creating positive and supportive learning environment and explain why it is considered the cornerstone of effective teaching. So we discussed that also. I don't know whether I have shared the slides with you. After the lecture, I will share all the slides which I forgot to share today itself. Otherwise, I will forget it.
You can share the group, madam. We have created. You are
Yeah,
there in the
there
group.
are two groups, 26 and 25.
25.
I will
So don't be
share
able.
in both. Okay. And then describe 5 practical strategies that teachers can use to build strong relationship with their students. So these are discussed one. We don't have time to discuss. Explain the importance of promoting inclusivity and growth mindset in classroom and provide example of how teachers can implement these principles. And normally your paper consists of 5 questions. Out of these 5, you can answer 4. Today what we did, define authentic materials in the context of language teaching and explain the benefits and challenges of using them. Okay, I hope you can answer that. Authentic materials are the materials which were not originally made for teaching. And that's how we started today's lesson. So as we did it today, your memory should be very fresh. And then we discussed in detail what teachers should consider when selecting authentic material. Can you remember what we discussed?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, what are they? Students' level, their interest. What else? Even I can't remember. We discussed certain factors today.
Adaptation. Yeah, adaptations
Yes.
and developing
Yeah.
and using supplementary material. So it has
Yes.
the authentic material specific for learning.
Yeah.
Authentic material, but after that we have to simplify it by developing
Oh.
into according to the way how we want the practice, reinforcement, and assignment.
Oh, here the provide examples of different types of authentic materials.
And supplementary material actually. There are
Yes.
one more.
Okay. Then the last one is
Authentic materials are not the original one, but it gives the deep meaning, and after that we have to make it simplify. We
you
should
mean it
simplify
should
it.
be supplementary material. Is
No,
that
no, I mean
so?
by the no authentic material is given in a deep way, so we have to make it simple in order to
Ah,
understand, right?
yes.
And also, apart from that, the supplementary materials are there. It has the
Yes.
it also helps
Here the authentic materials, that means resources are, I told you, tangible, digital, and real world. The three types.
Yes,
And
madam.
we can use tangible material.
Digital
That,
textbooks, worksheets
Tangi-
like this, madam.
tangible,
sorry?
digital, real world.
Yeah. What did you say? One girl was telling something.
Tangible, madam,
Yeah.
clear. Yes.
Tangible,
Yeah,
digital, and real.
yeah, right.
And then last question is outline various techniques that teachers can use to adapt authentic materials. And we discussed them also in detail. How can teachers adapt?
Adapting make the things easier.
Yeah, adapting, we discuss, we
Actually,
can simplify. The one method
simplifying
of
and make
adapting is simplify.
actually simplifying and make the things
Yeah.
easier.
Oh, shortening, make it short. That is another adaptation. And then the other one is giving visuals. Okay, so don't worry. So let me show you what we have done up to now. So these are the topics we did. Okay, based on these topics only you will get questions. Actually, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 topics. Theories of second language acquisition we did. Factors affecting second language acquisition. Development of language skills. Did we do it? Reading, writing?
No, madam, you have to share that one.
Yes, madam, we
Yeah.
have done.
Yeah, we did, but I have to share. Ne? Hari. Language teaching methodologies, classroom management and assessment, preparing teaching material. Are you sure this one we did? Development of language skills. Let me share it and I can ask you whether I did it with you. What is that?
Anyway, you have to share, madam. That's
We did this, I think. I have shared that also in one group.
yes,
Did
madam.
we do?
You have shared this one. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Okay. Hari. Okay, now it is 9:30 past. So with this, we will wind up the session. Don't worry, you have a limited number of topics, just 5 or 6. I will verify whether I have shared everything, and the remaining one definitely I will share it today itself. So then study them, or your questions will be based on them. Okay, then with this, shall we wind up the session for today?
Okay,
Yes,
madam.
madam.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your first talk.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night
Good
and
night,
have a
madam.
nice
Good
day.
night, madam. Same, madam. Good night.
Okay.